Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and a long overdue Happy New Year. And there has been some interesting news articles and whatnot coming out of Formula 1 recently, and most of it centres around Lewis Hamilton's shock of shocks. After the controversy in Abu Dhabi, there's been a lot of speculation about whether or not he's going to be back for 2022. I'm 85% sure he will be. It's only a couple of months away, it's a bit late to drop out now. And it poses an interesting question to Mercedes in who they're going to replace him with. There's no doubt that replacing a 7-time world champion is not an easy task. And for Mercedes don't really have anyone waiting in the wing. I mean, George Russell was really his replacement, and he's supposed to be racing in the same team. But I was interested to see Pierre Gasly's name linked with the drive. As great as Pierre Gasly is, and I've said really for the last couple of years that he deserves a race-winning car, and he could really show some potential in that, I don't think a move to Mercedes is the best thing for him right now. And the reason for that is, firstly, if Lewis Hamilton changes his mind in 2023, they'll probably kick Gasly out again. But also, the season starts in 2 months. There's no way he'd be ready in time. You're talking as much simulator work as he can do in the Bahrain test, and that's it. And he'll turn up at the first round having barely driven the car. In fact, George Russell will have more experience in a Mercedes than him. So it would be a shame if he kind of repeated his performances at Red Bull. I think without a shadow of a doubt Red Bull made a mistake with Gasly. He should definitely have been given more time. They only gave him half a season, and then they gave the seat to Alexander Albon, who in a season and a half didn't really do any better. I think Gasly, with more time, he could have probably grown into that car, and we could have seen someone else challenging Verstappen. It would probably cost Verstappen this title, in fact. So Red Bull maybe made their mistakes, and now they risk losing Pierre Gasly. It depends. I mean, there's no doubt that Mercedes is probably going to be capable of winning races in 2022. In fact, it's probably going to be challenging for the championship, no matter who drives it. But there's still an acclimatization period. As we saw with Sergio Perez, his performances really came on towards the end of the year, but at the start they were a bit shaky. He took a win in Azerbaijan, but he was lucky. It took Verstappen crashing and Hamilton making a mistake for him to get that win. In an AlphaTauri, he really shines because he outperforms the car by quite a fair way. Maybe Yuki Tsunoda's the other side of the line. So if the line is where the car is, I think Gasly is ahead and Tsunoda slightly behind. And Tsunoda may move closer to Gasly, but I think it's going to be very difficult to get ahead of him in the championship or even in general races here and there. And Gasly is a race winner. He can do it. So it wouldn't be a bad move for Mercedes. I'm just not sure it's the right move for Gasly. And to be honest, I don't see it happening. I don't see Hamilton retiring. I think it'd be very petty of him to retire like this. Really, he should have retired when his contract ran out in 2020. Leave as champion. You don't know how long Mercedes' dominant streak is going to last. And now he's lost the championship in a very bitter and controversial finish to a season. And Mercedes have been acting like a teenage girl who's been dumped a week before the prom. Just, honestly, whoever runs the Twitter account at Mercedes, the 18-year-old intern that does the tweets, they need to go, because it's embarrassing for a multi-billion-dollar company to be tweeting about Verstappen every 5 minutes. As is the same for Lewis Hamilton's fans, who honestly have no idea of reality. I feel sorry for Michael Massey because I've seen a lot of hate for him, and I guarantee he got a text from on high telling him to let those cars go for the sake of entertainment. And it was entertaining. It did cause people to talk about Formula 1, which is what they want, and it will probably bring new viewers in because it's been in like mainstream news. People will tune in next year to see what happens between Hamilton and Verstappen. But apart from the bitterness, it would be weird if Hamilton left it like this. This is his legacy. It ends with him losing on the last lap of Abu Dhabi. And it wasn't just the last lap. The racing season was over 22 races, and Verstappen did an amazing job and absolutely deserves to be champion. He really, really was a 10 out of 10 driver at times last year. There were mistakes, there were controversies, he got his elbows out at times. But the funny thing is, if it wasn't happening to Hamilton, we'd be saying we want that. We want close racing and drivers forcing errors and pushing each other wide to get moves done, because it is entertaining to watch. And sometimes in Formula 1 you don't get a lot of entertainment. Is it playing dirty? Maybe, but it's part of motorsport. And, you know, it's not like Hamilton hasn't done it ever. Just ask Rosberg. They did it to each other plenty. It happens. Ask the backmarkers. No one complains when Alonso does it to Vettel in an Alpine and Aston Martin. Maybe because it doesn't have as much significance to a championship, but it's just part of the sport, really. And surely you want it. You want to see cars get close. As for the drive, I think there's a perfect replacement for Hamilton waiting in the wings. And that is Wilhelm Samaya. No, it's not. It's Nick de Vries, the Formula E and Formula 2 champion who was kind of overlooked for Formula 1. He beat Nicholas Latifi, and honestly, Latifi's not a bad driver. You don't really get to see a lot of his talents because Williams have not had a great car since he turned up. But Latifi's not bad. And de Vries is a pretty decent driver himself. In fact, I'd say he's a fantastic driver. And he's also a Mercedes employee. So he, to me, is the perfect fit if Hamilton does replace, at least as a short-term replacement for him. So he's done test drives for the team. He's done simulator work, I would imagine. He's, to me, is perfectly qualified for this drive. I'm sure he's got enough super license points. He is a Formula E champion. He deserves it. Now, if Gasly did go, I don't know who would replace him at AlphaTauri, because they have drivers in Formula 2 like Yuri Vips, but I don't really think they're ready for it yet. They're still a bit young, maybe not quite experienced enough. I would probably go for someone like Nick Cassidy, who's part of the Red Bull setup and also a very good driver, or Liam Lawson, who did a very good job for him in DTM last year and is a good Formula 2 driver. Yes, they're not champions, but not in Formula 2 anyway, but they are good drivers. And again, as short-term replacements, it leaves them a little lacking in experience, because obviously it's Yuki Tsunoda's second season. To have a rookie teammate as well, that might put them at a disadvantage. But in terms of a short-term fix, and you've got someone like Yuri Vips coming up, I don't think they're in a bad place. Formula 1's going to be interesting over the next few years. Especially if we do get this new manufacturer signing with Red Bull, and the talk has been it's Volkswagen, Audi, whatever. There's so many good brands they could use. I don't really want to see Volkswagen in Formula 1, but you have Audi, Lamborghini and Bugatti. And most importantly of all, I would love to see Max Verstappen become world champion in a Skoda. I doubt that's going to happen, but I want a Skoda Formula 1 car. I want Skoda to win the Formula 1 World Championship. They will sell all the Fabias. So I think that's a message to Volkswagen to get that done. So there will be more videos coming this week. Time has been short, and I might do another video explaining why, and kind of just like a New Year update for the channel really. But I do appreciate everyone who has subscribed, and if you haven't, you should. And leave your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think should go to Mercedes? Who do you think should go to AlphaTauri? Do you think Gasly should take this seat, or do you think it's a bad idea? Let me know. Leave a like and tell your friends. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.